other things were happening that aligned with how I thought my life was going to be on track. But then 2020 hit, and everything that I knew and thought about and dreamed that my life was going to be post a collegiate career changed. And it was an awakening. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Locoglenncoco, and we're back here with another video. A minute since I've seen you guys. It's actually been November, December, 2 months since I filmed a video, and it's just been really difficult to film. I was uninspired. I was creatively drained. I filmed a bunch of content and ended up not liking anything. All of the videos felt like that I did film didn't feel like me. It felt like someone who I was trying to be, and it felt like was doing it to do it so I don't look inconsistent on my channel, and I just got drained. Yesterday I realized that, you know what inspires me is to really talk about my experiences and my life journey and my struggles, because I find myself having conversations with my friends and family that are really just conversations that benefit the soul. And this is what I want my channel to be about. I want my channel to be about conversations with my friends, my families, and strangers about life, and about the journey, and about struggles, and about temptations, and about goals, and about dreams. And I really want to share all of that with you guys. So I think that's really what my channel is going to be about. Me sharing my experiences, sharing my life, and really getting to a place of healing and understanding. And I really want you guys to come on that journey with me. And so I think this is what my channel is going to be about. Just growth. And yeah, one of the things that has really happened and transformed my life in 2020 and 2021 was therapy. Therapy has changed my life. It has changed my thinking. It has changed my mindset, and has really brought me to a place and a path of healing, and understanding, compassion, patience, accountability, consistency. So yeah, therapy has changed my life. What have I been learning from therapy would have to be patience, accountability, and consistency. Specifically with patience, I realized that for 8 years, like coming from a creative arts high school into going to college to get your BFA in musical theater at one point, and then acting, that's what I completed in, that I was in this mindset of just like really fast tracking everything. I had to be in this path and this track, and I was going to do this, and I was going to do that, and I was going to audition to get this, and I was going to get into this school, and I was going to do this summer work, and I was going to get this summer job, and which will lead me to this, and I had to be in this show, and I had to do all of these things for 8 years that I really never took the time to be patient, because I was always striving to get something and never taking the time to wait and be happy waiting, being happy with not receiving, and being happy with, you know, sometimes you don't get that thing. Sometimes the door closes but the window's open. It doesn't always look like that when you are in a world that is all about instant gratification. And I think I was in a mindset for 8 to 9 years of just instant gratification. I needed it now. I need to get it now. I needed to do this now. That I never develop patience. And so with my therapist, that is something I've been working on, just being patient, just being open, just being and allowing myself and the universe to present opportunities to me, while at the same time meeting the universe and developing myself to where when an opportunity presents itself, I'm ready and can really tackle that opportunity with everything I have. Another thing I have learned in therapy would be accountability. You know, I struggle with accountability. If I know I have to go work out, you know, I think I need a trainer. That's the only way I could go work out. I need someone who's gonna get me up. I have to go to the thing to do the thing, and that is my accountability. When in reality, all I need is myself. All I need is, Glenn, you know, you need to go work out today. Go do it. Go work out, you know? And some of the tools that my therapist has given me is have a planner, have a schedule everything. So you can be accountable for what your day is. With that accountability comes boundaries. I had to develop boundaries. Like if I know I have something to do, I can't, you know, agree to something when I've already had something scheduled. That takes away from your self-progress, and that is something I know I need to work on. I spent a lot of time like people pleasing and knowing at the end of the day that that was taken away from my goals because I didn't want to be looked as like mean or unkind or selfish. But sometimes you have to create boundaries, and people will respect people who have boundaries, and then you just reschedule. You just do it another time. That's something I learned. With accountability, I learned consistency. And you know, I have a hard time being consistent. I have a hard time doing the same thing every day. Or variations of the same thing again, every day. That is something that I wanted to change. I found myself in my education, like being inconsistent. I would have good grades one semester, bad grades the next semester. I would have good relationships with people, and then I wouldn't. And that is also has to do with life, because life happens, and you can only be in control of so much. But you can put boundaries in place where that can aid when life happens, and that comes from consistency, that comes from accountability, and that comes from having patience. And so those are some of the things that I have been learning. I've been learning to love my body. I started doing yoga at the beginning of the year, and I didn't realize how much trauma and tension I carried in my body from like high school dance classes where my teachers were like, you're never gonna be this flexible, your body's never gonna look like this, your body needs to look like this in order to do that, to be working on Broadway or to be in Hollywood or to be a successful dancer, whatever that may mean, does mean. And so I spent 8 years carrying on with this trauma, this baggage, and it took me until I was 22 to release all of that. I started yoga my second class, and after the class was over, I sat there crying because the instructor said, let it all go. And in that moment, I literally let it all go, and started realizing that I was holding on to all of this for so long, not consciously holding on to this baggage, but subconsciously holding on to all this baggage that I just needed to release and reteach myself how to love my body, care for my body, give my body what it needs in order to be the best version of myself. So that is something I've learned with yoga. I'm honestly obsessed with it now. It's something that calms me, relaxes me, refocuses and recenters me. And I look forward to it. That is something I'm practicing with consistency and accountability of stretching and practicing yoga daily. And something that excites me right now. So yoga has really benefited me so far in 2021. And mind you, it was only January 19th. I have a long way to go. I actually want to talk about what like brought me to therapy. So like the end of 2019, just felt like so delicious to me. I was getting everything I wanted, everything was in place, everything I worked hard for was aligning. Some things didn't happen for me at 2019 in my senior year of school. For instance, like I didn't get into any of the senior showcases, which was at the time such a big deal for me, like in academic education of musical theater and acting. Like getting into your senior showcase meant like that you were on track to be successful in the real world, when in reality the showcases don't guarantee anything. It's just a chance to be seen, and I mean, yeah, it's just a chance to be seen, and if something happens from that, it happens, and most of the time it doesn't. So yeah, I was a little I was hurt that I was not in showcase, but there were things that were happening in my fall semester of senior year that were making me feel like that was okay, and other things were happening that aligned with how I thought my life was going to be on track. But then 2020 hit, and everything that I knew and thought about and dreamed that my life was going to be post a collegiate career changed. And it was an awakening that my birthday was an indication of the end times. Like, Corona was officially established on the CDC, from the CDC on my birthday, which was March 11th. And I remember celebrating my birthday at this Mexican restaurant with all of my friends, and everyone was just so upset and crying, and we felt like, you know, our senior year was robbed from us, because we didn't get to celebrate. We didn't have the celebration that we thought we was going to have. We didn't have the conclusion, the finish that you think you're supposed to have. We didn't. All of my friends ended up leaving campus and going back home, and it was literally me by myself until May, because my grandmother lived with us, and at this time we had no idea like what Corona was, and I didn't want to go home and infect her because I may have been exposed. We weren't wearing masks in March, April, so it was really widespread, and we just didn't have a lot of information about Corona. So I stayed at school until May, until Mother's Day. Yeah, and I was by myself. Oh, I was just telling you how how 2020 is just messed up. And so with all of that being said, I just felt very alone. I felt lonely. I felt like I had no one to talk to. My plans, I got a contract to do an apprenticeship with a acting company in Minnesota, and that ended up not happening because of Corona. I was supposed to move to New York or LA after completing that apprenticeship that was 10 months, and you know, that's where my life was going to start and begin, and I was going to start auditioning and doing the actor struggle and doing all of that, and that was not happening. And Broadway was closed, Hollywood shut down. Broadway is still closed and won't probably see the light of day to really 2022, if we're being honest. Or I mean, we might see some capacity and a resurgence at the end of 2021, but really like the beginning and middle of 2022, that's when we'll probably see Broadway picking back up, maybe. And so like my industry, my livelihood was shut down. Like I had no idea. This has never happened to me, and it forced me to stop. It forced me to slow down and forced me to really be introspective and look at my life and start to figure out the things that aren't working. And a lot of the things that weren't working had to do with me. Like I needed therapy. So, you know, I had enough of enough. I had enough of like treating people certain types of way. I had enough of not being accountable for my actions. I had enough of not being honest with myself and other people. I had enough of family problems. I just had enough, and I was tired. So I decided to find a therapist. and talk it out. And I started doing that, and therapy has literally changed my life. It has realigned my purpose. It has given me hope. It has given me someone to talk to and make me feel less alone. And because for a long time I lost myself. I lost why I was here and doing what I was doing. Some of my struggles, what are my struggles? My struggles are, like I said, I didn't have patience. I wasn't accountable for my actions. I wasn't consistent. I wasn't in a good place of loving myself, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I have struggles with family members. I have struggles with intimate relationships. I had struggles with my friends and in school. And so those are the things that I really needed to work out. With those struggles, I learned I have triggers. And some of my triggers stemmed from just growing up and being in a household that, you know, has generational trauma that is embedded in our DNA, and also learned behavior from grandparents and great-grandparents, and oppression. And so I just needed to get all of that out. I needed to get my generational trauma out. I needed to get my own personal trauma that I dealt with as a child and growing up, and then going to school and dealing with the trauma there. And so yeah, I'm just in a place of releasing and getting rid of that. And every day is something new. Every day you have to forgive yourself for maybe not doing that thing that you were supposed to do. Actually, I was listening to a podcast with Nene Leakes and Tamar Braxton, and the one thing I did get out of it that Nene Leakes said is to do one thing a day that aligns with your purpose and aligns with your overall goal, whether that be taking a phone call, sending an email, sending out your headshot, doing your website, just doing one thing a day that aligns with your overall goal, that will build consistency, and that will bring you one step closer to achieving your goal. It will bring you one step closer to achieving your goal. Eventually someone will say yes. Eventually someone will open that email. Eventually someone will see you as you and will receive you and help you to further along your goal and your journey. And that really has changed my life as well. Like, just hearing that, just doing one thing a day, one thing. I can do that. You can do that. So yeah, I think this is going to be the end of this video. I just want this channel, like I said earlier, to now just be about my growth, and to be about the growth of my friends and the growth of other people. And I just want to have conversations about life experiences and about life. And I'm really interested and excited about that. I have some friends lined up ready to talk about their experiences, and we're gonna dive in and just have a conversation. And I want to share those stories and my story with you guys, and hopefully it leaves you with inspiration, it leaves you with peace, it leaves you with not feeling like you're alone, it leaves you with a community. And so that's what I hope to and inspire to do with my channel. I'm still gonna do vlogs. I'm still gonna do, skincare routines and stuff like that. But I think this is what I've been called to do with this channel, and that's what I think. This is what it's gonna be going forth. Yeah. So, again, thank you guys. More content is coming and on the way, and I'm really excited. So I hope to see you next time, and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment so your boy can be monetized, get the followers, get the money. But at the end of the day, it's just about me sharing my story and my and the stories of others with everyone. So yes, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.